What's up, my Fina loves? It's Miss Fina D coming to you all from V90 Menus. I talked about the Kandi situation a few months ago, so most of you already heard it. But for those of you who missed it, I'm going to include it at the end of what Monique have to say, since what Monique have to say is the recent news. But just to make the connection for the title, I will be including what Kandi said happened to her with the same show and producers and all of that, because Monique had a similar experience. You know these two history, and one of them is pregnant, and to attempt to put the both of them on the same season together of this show without discussing it and they were to be surprised, that's just disgusting. Ratings gold, I'm sure, but disgusting because Candiace is pregnant. She shouldn't be in an environment that's gonna risk her pregnancy and all of that. That's why she's not on the Real Housewives of Potomac. So they reach up to her allegedly to do this show and to want to surprise her with someone that she had a physical altercation with, that's just a hot mess. That's why I said disgusting. But as far as ratings, that's all they care about. They don't care who they hurt in the process.
Happened with the Traitors. I considered doing the show. I was really excited about it. Number one, let me back up and just say that I didn't realize that the Traitors was like NBC Universal. I don't watch TV. So when the opportunity came about, my manager reached out and was like, hey, would you want to do the Traitors? And I'm like, what is it? Oh, it's like a competition challenge kind of show. And, you know, like Fear Factor meets Mind Games and this, that, and that. I was like, oh, that sounds fun. So I was like, okay, cool. I'm interested. Put my name in it. So then I started watching all the old episodes. Then I realized like, oh, this is NBC Universal. Oh, they have housewives on here. Oh, okay. This is interesting. But then still I was down. So, I heard that they wanted me to be on the show. I said, okay, let's do it. We talking numbers. I was like, you know, for me to go away for that period of time, I need to make sure the money's good. And I also need to make sure, because I have children, I have 3 kids, and I have a home, and I have a dog, and I have a parrot. So I'm like, I got to make sure that it makes sense for me to leave my job for a whole month or however long. It needs to make sense, right? So that was one concern. Then, you know how it is with reality TV stuff. It is always last minute. You know, they act like you don't have a life outside of whatever it is they're trying to do. And I just was like, you know what? They're taking too long. If they don't come back with something really soon and respond to whatever, you know, raising their offer and give me some better numbers, then I'm not gonna be able to do it. And that's pretty much what happened. But then on the back end, I heard about some shady stuff that was going on. So apparently they were trying to put me and Candiace from RHOP on the Traitors at the same time. I didn't know that she was pregnant. I didn't know that she was supposed to be on the show. And the only reason that I found out is because my manager is well connected. And we started finding out all of this stuff. And I'm like, first of all, that's low down to try to put a pregnant woman in that position. That's jacked up, number one. Second of all, I don't even know why a person that's pregnant would even do that show or want to do that show, because it's a lot of physical challenges and stuff in there. So I thought that was weird. But regardless, I'm like, why would you try to take something from a totally different show and try to make it something that could potentially be very nasty? When I watched the first and second season of the Traitors, and I watched the other Traitors, like Traitors UK, all of that, it wasn't about their personal lives. It was more about just the show in itself. And if you get picked as a traitor and if you're faithful and all of that. And I thought that was so much fun. I actually was really excited about the opportunity and being able to do the show. But once I started finding out all of the shady shenanigans that were also going on behind the scenes, and they couldn't afford me. So I was just like, I'm not doing this. And then once I found out about all the shady stuff that was going on, I was like, you know what? Let them know that I declined not only this season, but every other season. Like, I'm not doing it at all now, because now you turned me off. And that is what you call boundaries. And that's what I now have. And I love that. I love that I don't have to do stuff. You know, I don't feel obligated to do anything that I'm not excited about. So that took the excitement away, because it was almost like y'all were trying to be shady and set things up. In a way that was just like, because when you get there, you don't know who else is going to be there until you land. So I thought that was really like low down, especially because everybody knows that that situation is very sensitive. And I highly doubt that if it was two white women that from another like housewife show, I highly doubt that they would put them in that position. So you ain't gonna be doing us black queens like that. Like, I don't care whatever they think might have happened behind the scenes or in front of the scenes. When it came to that situation, that's what I'm not about to do. Not at this day and age and this time in my life. So I was like, nope, ain't going down. Not gonna do it. You're not about to have black women on TV looking crazy. Not on my watch ever again. So that's my position on that. And that's actually what went down. So it was like a double-edged sword. Number one, they couldn't afford me. And number two, they were trying some shady stuff, which made me say, I'm not ever doing that show. So, and it would have been really cool because I do like stuff like that. Like, I love like challenges and like mind games and all of that, trying to figure things out. And, you know, so I thought that would have been like a fun opportunity, and I was down for it until they came with the mess. So I don't deal with the mess. So if they still ain't figured it out, they're going to find out now. So yeah.
What was this? Right when we were wrapping Housewives, I guess? Like right around that time? After August. So it was right around September, I guess, somewhere in there. They reached out to me to ask me to be on this season, the one that you're watching right now, the season of Traitors. Now, mind you, when you do those shows, they don't tell you who the other people are that's going to be on the show. But they reached out and asked me to be on Traitors. And at the time, my agent was like, oh, you should do it. It's only a few weeks. It's out in Scotland. I was like, I don't know if I want to do another one of those shows where I'm stuck in the house with people. Because y'all know I did Celebrity Big Brother before. And when I tell you, it gets tough being away from your family that long, not being able to talk to people that you care about, and being stuck in a house full of people that are all plotting against you, right? That's kind of tough. So I was like, I don't know if I want to do that. And then it just so happened that my group had already confirmed doing a performance, because I guess they must film around October, the top first week of October or something. But anyway, we were supposed to be doing a performance that would have been, I guess, 2 weeks into their filming. So my agent's like, oh, you should go anyway, and, whatever. You might, it doesn't matter. You probably won't even stay in that. I was like, no. Any show that I'm going to do, I'm there to try to win. Like, if I know I'm already not going to really be there to win, I don't want to do it. I was like, no. I was like, and I don't really know if I want to do that anyway. Anyway, I tell you that to say, fast forward, everything happens for a reason. So, fast forward, the show that my group was supposed to do got canceled. So I didn't even end up doing the concert, right? Which was my main reason for not doing Traitors. And here comes this cast being announced, and Phaedra was on there. I was like, I know they weren't going to try to put the two of us in the house together. I know they didn't think that was going to happen. I was like, that would not have been a good idea. You know what I mean? So I feel that everything happens for a reason, I was like, whew, I'm just glad that didn't come together. Like, I'm not saying that, if I would have been there, that she definitely would have been there, but that's probably what they was trying to do. And I'm glad that it didn't work out. And realistically, I don't know much about Traitors, but I just know, aren't you supposed to, like, figure out who's the traitor now? Like, as soon as I got there, I'll be like, she's the traitor. I'm like, what are we talking about? That would have been crazy. Anyway, yeah.
For those of you who are not aware, Traitors is a TV show, and Sheree and Phaedra were both on the last season of Traitors, and Kandi was saying that they reached out to her when they were casting for that season, and you heard what she just said in that video. And yes, Kandi and Sheree, they have had little moments here and there, but nothing compared to what she went through with her former friend, Phaedra Parks. And like I said in that video I did when Kandi talked about this, I'm going to need NBC and Bravo and everybody else to just let this go and leave Kandi alone. Kandi wants absolutely nothing to do with Phaedra, and I do not blame her. That doesn't mean she can't be in the same space with Phaedra. They were both at BravoCon, but I'm not going to work with her. I'm not going to be in the close proximity with her. This person tried to completely end my entire career and livelihood, and then was never remorseful, never apologized, and said someone else told her because she couldn't admit to that type of lie on TV. And so it's okay. Do not want anything to do with someone like that. Like Monique said, it's called setting boundaries. Listen, that doesn't mean that Kandi is walking around with hate in her heart or she hates Phaedra. No, if she did, she wouldn't even talk about her and mention her name. You can forgive someone and still wish them well from afar. You don't have to be buddy with them. You don't have to be in the same space and all of that. And the people who consistently asking her questions about this woman in interviews, even though she said over and over again, stop asking me questions. She looks uncomfortable. People still force it on her. And I understand sometimes it comes with the territory, but to want to put her in a house with someone who did that to her and wanted her to find out when she got there, that was just wrong. And I'm glad that everything worked out and she ended up not doing that. Understand, in a desperation for ratings, but not at the expense of other people's mental health. And I know most of them pretend to care about mental health, but they don't. They have counselors and therapy and other people on the set and on the scene and all of that, but they don't. All they care about is their bottom line and the ratings and all of that. So I'm glad it all worked out for Kandi. And the same thing goes for the whole Monique and the whole possible Candiace situation, especially with Candiace being pregnant and all of that. Phaedra did do the show, and based on everything I saw on social media, she was a hit on the show. Of course, she was a hit on the show because she was in her element. Like Kandi said, I would have been like, she's the traitor. What are we doing here? But anyways, if you want to hear my detailed response in the original video I did on this, I have linked it in the description below. I'm wishing all of you well and take care. Thank you all for your love and support. If you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and leave this video a thumbs up. Also turn on notifications so when I do post, you're aware that I posted. And I will see you all in the comment section. Remember to always have the God bless attitude, which is being positive at all times and seeing the good in every situation. Have a great day, guys. God bless.